The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
Yo, is Zeev Buium just as good as Matthew Schaefer? Can we talk about...
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
People, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks. My name's Kyle Bowen. One love to the Don't Doze Art Lab for giving you the West Coast bias. And one love to the Minnesota Wild for giving us one of those guys. You know how it was Cale Makar versus Quinn Hughes? I wonder if it's going to be Matthew Schaefer versus Zeev Buium, right? That's how you say it, right? Anyways, today's episode, again, right after the game, that Devils game, we'll break it down just a little bit, for real, just a little bit, because Trevor's not here, so you're going to get a little bit of the breakdown. Because, yo, let's be honest and let's be real. 48 hours ago was one of the biggest days in Canucks history. And, yo, today we got to see the debut, right, of Liam Öhgren, Marco Polo, and Zeev Buium. Okay? And let's be honest, 2 points in the first period. Not perfect plays, not a perfect pass to Garland before it goes to DeBrusk. Again, he scores his goal by banking it off. Who? Was it Surrey native, a.k.a. BC native? Brendan Dillon? Is that a little poetic? Speaking of being poetic, 2 points in the first period after the Canucks traded the greatest player in Canucks history and one of the greatest defensemen of all time. You can call that poetic. You can call that good morning. But you can also call that what this city deserves. And I'll try to, say less of this moving forward because, it is time to move on and the holidays are here and I'm trying to be a better person for my family. And you can't just live with all this pessimism and all this anger because, it is anger. Right? Again, what we saw this morning is what this team deserves. Some good things. And even though the Canucks got outshot, they seemed less, can you say this word in 2025? Less depressed today. They had a little bit more energy, in more of the fights, in more of the scrums. Again, less depressed. I'm angry still because, once again, the fan base, the story, the quote-unquote media is being blamed for the possibility of Quinn having enough and having too much pressure to deal with, thus leading to him wanting out. I'm tired of management and owners being blamed for what, the players ultimately control on the ice to some extent, especially if you're quote unquote one of the best of all time. And I'm tired of core pieces, core leaders of this team not being able to hold it together and bring their best version of themselves to the rink every day. Because we're talking about the NHL, not rec league. It does matter what's going on off the ice. And again, I'm tired of this team's leaders, this team's guys, their highest paid players. I'm sorry, being too emotional and letting that get in the way of the task at hand. So Quinn Hughes tells the team on Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, 25 games into the season, right? 26 games into the season. You're 6 points out of a playoff spot. That is when he tells the team that he's not extending past 2027, thus leading to the Zeev Buium trade. And thank you. Thank you for letting us know early so we could, make the phone calls and get the most leverage. Thanks for the communication. And congratulations. You've worked your heart. You've worked your life. You worked so hard for your whole life, probably since you were 3 years old, to get to the point where you are today. And at 25, 26, you want to choose where you want to go, or you just want to control your own narrative, with your location and whatnot. And again, whatever, that's cool. You don't want to stay in Vancouver. All the power to you, you know? That being said, you are the captain. You are the captain, and you were part of the problem. And 2 years before your contract checks out, 2 years into being captain of the Vancouver Canucks, you're more focused on where you're going to play in 2028 as opposed to game 26 of the season, being 6 points out, 7 points out of a playoff spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, A, the fans deserve better, but if you're a leader of that team, the rest of that room deserves better. Deserves more stoicism, deserves more fight, deserves more thick skin. They deserve a captain that's not going to quit 26 games into the season and, say what you want. He didn't quit on the ice. He played 30 minutes a game. He played his ass off. I'm sorry, you got the C. We never asked you to be the vocal guy. We were cool with that. But be strong off the ice, right? Because when you're the captain, you got to play 30 minutes a night, and then you got to play, 23 and a half hours each day to quote unquote at your highest ability off the ice. As a Canuck, as a human, as a bro. On American Thanksgiving, this guy's like, yo, I'm not signing here. Grateful, man. What a grateful captain. Yo, I'm grateful for Zeev. Did I say Zeev? Zeev Buium. Okay, and on that note, I think I got a video here. Do I got a video here? Boom, bam. Is that a background? No, it's a video. Okay, let me play this video from Seth from Locked On Wild, okay? Because I'm not the Buium expert. I've watched one full game of this guy, right? But I've done a lot of research over the last 24 hours, and I've seen the way people talk about him, and now I've seen him play. And again, we just talked about that poetic start to his Vancouver Canucks career. And let's just let Seth talk more about him, okay? Your new favorite Canuck. Where is it? Boom.
I'm frankly surprised that the Wilds went that route. I'm even more stunned that the Wild elected to package Zeev Buium in this package. Buium was starting to really come into his own. The last few games, especially, he had made real strides on the defensive side of the ice. For the Vancouver Canucks, they are going to get a very good puck-moving defenseman.
Oh, I think it cut out early. My bad. That's life. Okay. All in all, what we heard there was he was rounding out his game. He wasn't just this offensive guy, right? He wasn't just this like rookie defenseman who's now second in scoring for rookie D-man across the league, right? He wasn't just this offensive dynamo in college that got compared to who? Quinn Hughes, that had better point per game numbers than Zach Werenski, and who? Quinn Hughes, right? I think it was like at 1.13 or something. Just an incredible offensive profile. We've already seen what he's done in his rookie season. Look at the box score again. I'm comparing him to Matthew Schaefer. Got to do it. I'm a Canucks fan. But then you hear a Locked On Wild, go check them out, saying, he was rounding out his defensive game. Yo, I heard Michael Russo say the same thing. And then you go across the league, and yeah, he's no Quinn Hughes, but he's blue chip material. Like, his potential is, 94, 95 overall? It feels like that. It seems like that. Right? And again, we only saw him for what? I don't even know the minutes he played today. Was it 20 minutes? But he just looked calm outside of one play in the third period where he turned it over. But outside of that one play, to be honest, he looked athletic and perfect and poised. And I'm talking away from the offensive zone. Like, I think I just saw, again, the way he skates, the way he reads the ice, the way he's so confident. And he never looks panicked. And how about this? We got to read this again. If you came here for an ultimate post game show about that game that we just watched, I'm sorry. This is just the Zeev Buium experience. Okay, let's swim in the ocean. Okay, this is when we find material on like X and Twitter and around the different publications in regards to topics about your Vancouver Canucks. It's when we swim in the ocean. And let's go read some Thomas Drance from The Athletic. And he has this story about Connor Garland and Zeev playing together, I guess, at the World Hockey Championships. Let me know if that's correct. Is it at the actual World Hockey Championships or at some like summer camp? Anyways, never mind. It was at the World Hockey Championships. This is what Garland told Thomas Drance, okay? Before the semifinal game against Sweden, Zeev came up to me and he's like, "Oh, I've never lost at anything. I have 5 gold medals." He said, "We're going to win." Garland said to himself, "Wow, this guy is 19 years old, coming up to 3 veterans at a table." All right? And saying what he just said. And then he was talking about how Zeev's dad told Connor's dad that he's won everything. Meanwhile, I've never won anything. Cracking a little joke. All in all, though, Zeev seems like a cool guy. He seems confident. That's step one. You're entering again this world that is Vancouver Canucks hockey, and to be honest, you're also entering like just the start of your NHL career. And before you got to Vancouver, you played in Minnesota, which is no joke. They care about their sports A, and that's the state of hockey. Like maybe you shouldn't stop watching this show, and you should go watch the Wild and Bruins game. Like I don't even know where it is. It could be in Boston, for all I know. But I'm just saying, watch that game, and you just as a hockey nut, as hockey that like hockey is in your DNA. You could tell off the TV screen that that game matters because Minnesota's playing. So Zeev's played in an environment like that, and now he's a Canuck, and now he's telling Connor Garland a couple months ago that he's just won at everything. And I've looked at it, right? This guy's just won literally everywhere. Probably the best, I don't know, ball hockey player in the world, too. He probably wins at all the video games he plays too. He's probably the best poker player. He's probably the best ping pong player. He's probably the best Fortnite player. Is that what the kids are playing? Back in my day, we used to play snakes and ladders, yo. Where am I going with this? Oh yeah, he just oozes confidence. He just oozes the ability to inspire fan base, and he just oozes some familiarity to who? Quinn Hughes, to some extent. Now, I said some because, Quinn Hughes is, again, Allen Iverson, like, just one of the best of all time. He's going to have one of the best careers in NHL history. Again, we were so blessed to watch him every single day on the ice, right? Like, cool. Quinn Hughes individually may be the better player. But what did I just say there? I said maybe. Maybe. For real. Who knows? And based on Zeev's history, based on how he just started his Canucks career, based on how everyone else in the NHL is talking about him, there's just a chance. There's a small chance that he's just as good, to some extent, as Quinn Hughes. And this is where I should say no pressure. He just turned 20 years old. Did I just say he just turned 20 years old? Again, you can compare this guy to Quinn Hughes. No pressure, 20-year-old, but based on what I'm reading about you and based on how you talked to Dan Murphy today and how you look today for the most part, I'm confident that you'll be able to handle it. And again, I'm a Canucks fan. They told me to believe back in like 2002. That was like their slogan. I'm always going to believe that one day, this team that's blue and green and red, orange, and black and yellow and all these colors, like they're going to get the job done. So it's okay for me to believe that A gets better than whatever Quinn Hughes gave us. Because individually speaking, fantastic. How many great moments did we have with him on this team? I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying. I'm a Canuck. I'm not a Quinn Hughes. Like those are the moments you remember. And I don't know how many big wins Zeev Buium needs over the next like 8 years of his Canucks career before like, he may be a UFA. But it won't take a lot of big wins for us to kind of forget about Quinn Hughes. And oh yeah, last time I checked, again, Zeev Buium, he wins a lot. Anyways, let's get to the other side. Let's shout out some friends, read some comments. Go Canucks, go! You deserve, if you're listening to this, I'm telling you right now, you deserve good things. You deserve great things. You deserve a lot better than what Quinn Hughes gave us while he was the captain of this team. Individually speaking, congratulations, Quinn Hughes, but I'm not buying a plaque of your individual accomplishments and putting it in the man cave. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, go Canucks, go. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel, man. These Sundays are running out in the NFL season. The Packers only got 4 regular season games left. In like 40 minutes, they're about to play the Denver Broncos, a potential Super Bowl matchup. I don't know. I don't think so. Anyways, if you're not a Packers fan and you want to get in on the action, yes, get in on the action. Visit FanDuel.com. Straight up. Maybe your team sucks. Maybe you cheer for the Arizona Cardinals. You know what I'm saying? Right? Maybe you cheer for the Minnesota Vikings. Maybe these games don't matter, but if you want them to matter and you want to play responsibly and, you got a little safe stash on the side and, you got enough for a rainy day, go play some FanDuel, okay? Make a parlay. They got the live betting. Trevor and his daughter always tell me, it just updates quickly. Play after play after play, the lines just change. It's somewhat instinctual, okay? And again, you want some skin in the game? Now you're in the game. It's like you're playing the game. Anyways, visit FanDuel.com for more details. Dude, just make these Sundays count, okay? And do so responsibly. Let's get to the other side. People, we back doing this, and that's reading your comments here on Locked On Canucks. Okay, shout out to James Moore. Don't Google him. Please don't Google him. Zeev Buium is, 20, is the youngest Canucks defenseman to record a point in his debut since Quinn Hughes, who did so at 19 years old. Again, the comparisons, man. Zeev Buium. It feels good, man. It feels good. And can we dive deeper into like that point per game stat from like his college days on Canucks Satology? Can we do that? Because I'm trying to make sense of how good this guy could possibly be. Okay, this comes from Elite Prospects. The highest points per game for NCAA defensemen in their draft year, okay? I missed that note earlier, and that's why we're running Canucks Satology, okay? Highest NCAA D-men point per game in the draft year. Who's number one on that list? Zeev Buium, okay? 1.19 points per game. But where's Quinn Hughes? He's third on that list, okay? In his Michigan days, 0.79 points per game. You got Werenski at 0.71 points per game. Where's Buium again? Oh, yeah, 1.19. And I don't even know. Lushinov on Chicago is actually number 2 on the list with 0.092. Anyways, Zeev Buium, who, looked up to Quinn Hughes. You never know. But on this path of his, it just turned 20, a couple weeks ago. What were you doing at 20? I found out my girl was leaving me for another girl who left at McDonald's, I think, at the age of 20. Or was it 21? Where am I going with this? Can we not? Okay, you know what? let's run report cards. Did we tell you that the Canucks beat the Devils? Did we talk about that? Did we even tell you the score? Was it 2-1? Anyways, report cards. Okay. Let's talk about every single player that played today on the Vancouver Canucks. I thought I had the image somewhere. I'll get that up. Can we start with Tom Willander, though? I think he's normally at the top of the list. Tom Willander, I think he might have made one bad play today along the right side of the boards, trying to stretch a pass from the defensive zone to the neutral zone. It got picked off sometime in the third period. Yeah, just, we didn't really need that play from him. That being said, let's be honest. Another clean game. And can somebody confirm this? Like, I don't know if this is like the Quinn Hughes effect, but or the lack of Quinn Hughes leading to this effect, but I was noticing him more. I was noticing his athletic ability more. Just such a great skating defenseman. Not as good as Quinn Hughes, but who really is? Zeev Buium isn't. I'll tell you that much. And, we've been celebrating him today. Like, Quinn Hughes is worth the price of admission. Like, if he was an Olympian in whatever ice skating event would best suit him, he's probably winning the gold medal. I don't know much about ice skating, but, Quinn Hughes, worth the price of admission. You don't even have to watch him play hockey or know what hockey's about to pay for a Minnesota Wild ticket and be at awe. Just again, what a guy. But Tom Willander, what a player, too. And he has a chance here. He has a chance here to dare I say, be more of a leader. Is that okay to say? Get more ice time and prove that you're one of those dogs too. And I wonder if Zeev Buium and Tom Willander become a thing. So an A+ for Tom Willander. I'm sorry. This was a big game for him. And I thought he handled it well. Again, I can't load up this graphic. StreamYard is bugging me out. So I'll just keep this segment quick, okay? Marco Rossi, why don't we talk about the new guys? I'm going to give him a B. Strong B. A couple mistakes in the defensive zone. Didn't like his attempt at the empty net at the end of the game there, but am I being too harsh on him? I don't know. Again, this was the most coveted Vancouver Canucks player based on how often they wanted this guy throughout the last 20 years of his life. So the hype was real, and he hit the post, great post, but I don't know. Just want to see. I don't. Again, they coveted this guy more than they coveted Oliver Ekman-Larsson. The Canucks had 15 shots on net in this game. They probably had 2.5 shots in the last 40 minutes of the game. Marco Rossi, top 6 player. Again, trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. His first game as a Canuck, but how many forwards really had a really great game? 15 shots on net. Anyways, Liam Öhgren, is that how you say his name? I'm gonna give him a B2. Guy hustles hard, but got to see more and want to see more. These were guys involved in the Quinn Hughes trade. Other guys I want to talk about. How about Vander Kane? Liam Öhgren in the first period gets boarded by Stefan Noesen, I think. That was his name, a tough guy, quote unquote. And I don't know. That's a young guy playing his first game on your team. Vander Kane's the veteran on the team, and not once did we see any bit of a pushback. And didn't see much from any other guy after that play, but I made note of that. That's got to change. We're talking about moving forward as a team and building camaraderie. If Vander Kane is not doing that, what is he doing? To me, after such a pivotal trade and there being a shift in the leadership in totality with this team, it would have been nice to see somebody step up for Liam Öhgren. Now, let's talk about Jake DeBrusk. For some reason, I felt as if this was the first time he was in the battle as a Vancouver Canuck. I'm talking in every scrum. And I wonder if he understands that there's room here in that dressing room to step up, because he's still kind of like the new guy. And B, if he takes some accountability for what's been going on this season, because like, yo, he just saw a house of cards fall down. He probably thought from like a Boston point of view before he got here that he was hitting the lottery. Like he was hitting another Boston-like situation, right? We're talking about a guy that I think's never missed the playoffs, right? Outside of his time in Vancouver. I could be correct on that. And like he's far away from the playoffs now in year 2 of his tenure with the Vancouver Canucks. And he looks like a prideful guy. Yo, he's a Pokemon catcher, man. Ash Ketchum. I don't know if I've seen a more dedicated person in my life. So he has a bit of that in him. And I saw the bite today, and I wonder if he feels accountable. I still think he has one even strength goal in 32 games. And now he has 8 on the power play. And I scored a big goal today, but I just loved how I saw him in the fight. For real. How about Filip Hronek? We never talked about this a lot, Like I think we uploaded an hour and a half's worth of footage surrounding the Quinn Hughes trade. Me and Trevor being depressed, mad, traumatic. Don't watch those episodes. Those episodes don't matter. All in all, though, like, isn't it so fascinating how we never talked about Filip Hronek, and this Quinn Hughes trade affects him a lot, because we've seen like Filip Hronek's career not hinge on Quinn Hughes, but they played all their minutes together. Right? That's something. And he was so good at, swinging the puck over to Quinn, like giving him the puck every time to a point where on this show, like we've given him credit for that. Like his ability to go from his side of the ice to Quinn's side of the ice with the puck and putting that much velocity on like those passes. You know what the ones we're talking about. His ability to just like pull that off constantly, it led to Quinn's success here. Like Quinn always had the puck. Look at his puck possession numbers, and a lot of that is on Quinn. But Filip Hronek, his distribution was like elite. They had that level of chemistry, and now Quinn's gone, and now Filip Hronek's an assistant captain, and there's room for somebody to be a top pairing guy, or like a number one guy. And I know a lot of us are looking at Zeev Buium as a guy, Zeev Buia, like he's gonna be that top pairing guy. He's gonna be that number one guy. But I feel like we should still remember, based on what we've seen in the last 2 years of Filip Hronek, yeah, he played with Quinn Hughes, but I'm just talking about the individual style of player he is, and his ability to compete game in and game out and just bring the same level of play, which is a high level of play for like 150 games straight. Like he has the ability to be a number 2 D-man still. Not just because he don't have Quinn Hughes. Like I'm not dropping him down the depth chart. Like Tom Melander, if you're listening, like, your minutes got to be earned. And on that note, again, Filip Hronek getting an A+ from me. The Canucks defense, Zeev Buium, we keep talking about this, but we haven't really like brought in like the prompt, right? That ignites this whole conversation. Like the trade hinges on that guy's ability to be right there with Matthew Schaefer as far as like the best 20 or under defenseman in the league. Like he's got to pan out to just stay the course and be uber elite for this trade to work out. And let's believe that's going to happen. The Canucks with Tom Melander and Filip Hronek, who's locked up for a long time, just based on that alone, on paper, I don't know. They have an ability to actually have a way better decor than who? The Minnesota Wild. And the New Jersey Devils. Okay. I'm getting ahead of myself, but Filip Hronek, I'm watching you for the rest of the season, and I'm confident that you're going to be that guy. Let me know. Do you guys want to trade Filip Hronek? Like, is he part of like the resetting of everything? The resetting of the core? Is he? Speaking of the core, I also do want to ask on the other side about Elias Pettersson as well. Like, do you want to keep him? And let's also talk about why we got to keep Thatcher Demko too, okay? For real. It's the postcast. The Canucks beat the Devils, and Zeev Buia is, just look at the name, Zeev Buia. Now you're listening, again, to Locked On Canucks. Today's episode is brought to you by Gametime. And you know the deal, right? The World Cup is coming back to North America for the first time since 1994, which means what? A lot of soccer is going to be played on this side of the world. Hey, Vancouver's hosting a lot of games, and maybe you need tickets. So that's why maybe you need to download Gametime, okay? The best place to get your last minute tickets at the lowest price. And look at the layout. That's simple. It's like peanut butter and jelly. Also, no confusion. When you see the tickets you want, the price you see is the price you're going to pay. They're not going to slap you in the face at the end of the line or at the till. So go look into all that. Yo, maybe you want to buy Canucks tickets for like $15 after you use your $20 off coupon on your first purchase on Gametime, right? What am I talking about? Yo, download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. But again, download the app, make an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Okay? Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Gametime. Okay, we back doing this. Talking about your Vancouver Canucks. Let's get to the comments because, come on, we all watched the game. Look at this, man. Big Love saying Evander Kane's a joke. Yo, Big Love. I grew up with Big Love, okay? Some say, yo, we met at preschool, okay? Anyways, Big Love and I would be up in arms if we were watching the game today and we saw Liam Öhgren get boarded from behind and have nobody stand up for him. Right? And Evander Kane's on this team for what? I just want to know. And, just, again, based on what I'm seeing from this guy, I keep seeing this guy trying to pad up his stats, take a shot from this angle, get a random goal, get a secondary assist. Like, again, just gives me that type of vibe. And I mean, we asked the question, right? Do you want to trade Elias Pettersson? Do you want to trade Philip Roenick or Thatcher Demko? Like, how deep do you want to do this if you are quote unquote resetting everything? I feel like they can't move Evander Kane fast enough, and they just waived Lucas Reichel. Like, how? I don't know. Can somebody defend Evander Kane in the comments? Like, are his metrics really good? I can't see why this guy is not a waiver candidate too. Which leads me to this question. Another one from Kyle Levette. This one comes from Big Love again. Why was Aatu Ratu scratched? I don't get that move at all. I don't know. Like, again, I want to complain about this because instinctually speaking, like, I don't know. I know the team quote unquote sucks and they're now 12, 17, and 1. But I know there's 49 or 50 games left. I'm watching the game in December. We're up by 1 against the New Jersey Devils. Thatcher Demko's balling his ass off. And did I say we were up by 1 against the New Jersey Devils? Like, come on, the Illuminati, the devil, like, look at what it did to Quinn Hughes. You know what I'm saying? Once you start thinking about it, boom. Like, again, emotional team to go up against. And we're up 2-1, and I want to win. I'm sorry, I want to win this game. That quote-unquote doesn't matter and takes us further away from Gavin McKenna. But I want to win, and with 3 minutes left, we're up by 1. And we have high school center Drew O'Connor on the ice as a centerman with Evander Kane on the ice trying to defend the lead. And when I see those things, and I also see Aatu Ratu, our best faceoff man, being scratched, keep in mind, he was on the ice at the end of the game against Buffalo, too, trying to win faceoffs to bring the team back into the game. The last game of Quinn Hughes' career as a Canuck. Like, he was just doing that, but now he's scratched because we want to see Drew O'Connor play center more, or we're scared of scratching Evander Kane, or like what? We need to see more of David Kampf with Connor Garland. Like, where's the conspiracy theorist music? Like, is a tank happening before our eyes? Right? Again, the Canucks won today. It feels good, but the Canucks got smoked in the last 40 minutes of the game. Again, like 15 shots. It wasn't an impressive game by the Vancouver Canucks, but the coaching, I feel like the coaching somewhat is set up for us to always, not bring our best game in and game out. We're not rostering our best roster. Drew O'Connor. Yes, Drew O'Connor holding a lead. Like, What type of coaching is that? If you want Drew O'Connor on the ice with 3 minutes left in the game, why are you putting his line out with Sherwood and Kane? Why are you making him play center? Just throw Rossi out there. Throw Camp out there. Throw Sasson out there as a centerman. You know what I'm saying? Weird stuff going on. That being said, can we swim in the ocean again and read something else from Thomas Drance? This was a quote from one of his articles too, okay? When talking to Thatcher Demko. I'll read the tweet, okay? I knew I wanted to be a Canuck. This is what he told Thomas Drance after he was asked if he priced the uncertainty around Hughes into his decision to extend, right? They connected the two things. Like, I'm assuming the energy around some players like Garland, Besser, and Demko were like, I don't know. Yeah, I'll stay in Vancouver. Quinn's here. We got one of the best players in the world. Like, and now he's gone, and that's why there's been question about who else is leaving. Like, does anyone want to be a part of this? AKA, does Thatcher Demko want to be a part of this? What does Demko say? He says there's no ifs or buts about it. I want it to be a Canuck. So whatever it looks like, I'm in for it. AKA, if Quinn Hughes is not on this team, I don't give a puck. I'm here to stop the puck and help this team out. And again, we're talking about poetry here, right? To some extent, that the sports are beautiful. Wasn't it telling that the Canucks' best leader, the guy who bleeds blue and green the most this whole time, was by far and away the best player today in the game after Quinn Hughes? And also a game where Elias Pettersson's injured and not playing again. It was Thatcher Demko. Absolutely balled out. Textbook performance. And again, we've been annoyed with Thatcher. I'm emotional. I can't afford therapy. I've said some things. I meant those things. But I also mean this. There's no one on this team that deserves more success, not as an individual, but as a Vancouver Canuck, like more team success than Thatcher Demko. Because he pushed his body to the brink, close to retirement, prior to even earning this new contract. And for what? To give the team a chance to win against the Oilers or Dallas back in 2024, right? He almost played in that second round. He probably was going to play in the third round just based on sheer will, determination. I don't care if this is going to wreck my career. I want to win for the Vancouver Canucks, the same team that hasn't done him many favors too, as far as team building goes, right? Because you get that narrative with Quinn Hughes too. Oh, why would he want to stay? Why would he want to give it all for the Vancouver Canucks? They haven't done anything for him. Why does Thatcher Demko want to give everything to the team? It's more than money for that guy. Because I don't know if you know the rules of Thanksgiving, Quinn Hughes, but I think it's because Thatcher Demko is grateful and also accountable. I think he's been paid a lot of money to play a lot of games, but also be injured for a lot of them. And that's not good enough for him. And he wants to make sure that he has a chance to rewrite the narrative. And I'm sorry, I'm running out of time, but I gotta get this point in too before the 40-minute mark. Say what you want about Elias Pettersson, and he got paid a lot of money too. But he signed an 8-year extension. He signed an 8-year extension to stay a Vancouver Canuck. And I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I don't know. Quinn Hughes pissed me off, and I feel like I'm reset, though. I'm a new man, and I'm willing for Elias Pettersson to prove me wrong a little, too, and bleed blue and green. And prove that he does. Because he signed an 8-year extension. A lot of money, I know, on the table, but I'm sure he could have got that money somewhere else. But he's like, I want to stay in Vancouver. And now he's one of the last ones remaining, and we're going to be talking about him a lot this week. Anyways, that was Locked On Canucks. Got to go. One left to the Don't Doze Art Lab. Sorry I didn't read your comments. This was a therapeutic experience for me, okay? I needed this one. And I hope you did too. Anywho, peace.
Your Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.